Hey, just finished the one that was about leaving Lodi. And I did my best to try and stay in touch with my friends in North Jersey, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. There was no cell phones, and I didn't have a license. I didn't have a car. That wasn't going to be in my my history for quite a while. Anyway, so I got to go for walks, and that was about it. I couldn't go to town. I had rules that were really crazy. My mom said, "You made your bed, you sleep in it." And basically, their response to me was always discipline. And you would have thought by now that somebody would have said, "Hey, maybe she needs some help." But all that stuff she kept saying I was doing for attention. And looking back on it, I forgive her, I get it, but I really just wanted to be loved. And if anybody along the line would have shown me a little bit of that, like, hey, what's really going on with you? What can we do to help you? Um, hmm. Anyway, okay, so forgiveness work has been done, and I need to say that, but I need the picture to be fully painted on what happened here. Okay. And okay, so I was allowed to go for walks, and I found this little pond out past one of the farms, and it looked like a place where maybe the hunters used, like during their hunting back. Remember I told you about the hunting? And it was a pond, and it was abandoned. There was a log. It looked like maybe people sat around there. I don't know. It was definitely a used kind of camp area. And there was a duck in the pond. I gotta tell you, I was bonded to that duck. I tried to find stuff to feed it, and it came to me. And not many years ago, I actually tried to do like a chalk drawing of that memory because it was such pleasant, and it was a quiet place, and it was mine just for in that moment. You ever get to a place where you know it's not yours forever, but it's yours in the moment? And that's what that was. And there was sun that would come in the afternoon, and I would walk down Brindletown Road as far as I could, and then I knew there was a way to cut through the farms, and nobody ever stopped me. I guess it just, it was out in the farmland. And there was, on one side was like woods where sort of, I guess, the pines were starting, and the other side was all farms. And behind the farms was where the camp was, where the pond was. And so I'd go out there, and it was just like kind of, I guess, my alone spiritual time. I don't know. It was good. And so, and my mom discouraged my brothers from being with me. She was afraid I would ruin them. And I don't think I would have ever intentionally ruined them, but maybe I might have been a bad influence. I don't know. I'm trying to give my mother the benefit of the doubt, but it really changed my picture of myself. Like, you know, I'm not to be trusted. I am not to be close to. And then I started to think, well, I must be a freak. Look what I did. I didn't put all the pieces together. Garfield High School had to move, then Allentown High School, and then Allentown High School had to move, and then now Lodi High School have to move. You'd think that somebody would say, hey, won't we get her some counseling? So my mom didn't like that idea because she's afraid some of the blame would come to her. And it was like, no, it's all on her. And that was kind of the way it went, because one time I was, we were visiting my stepdad's family, and she was in the kitchen with the women, and I was in the living room, I think, with David, one of the family. And I heard her, they saying, how's it going with Diane? And of course, your ears are going to be listening. And she said, I'd rather raise boys than girls any day than have a girl like that. And yeah, right? Uncomfortable. You know what? For all these years later, the knife is still there. And I've done the forgiveness work. I've done the healing work. I went up for prayer. I went, did all this stuff, and I forgive myself. But the scars, man, dude, if you got scars, you got to look at them and go, okay, don't let them get to you. Don't let them get to you. But they do sometimes, sometimes they do get to you. And so, okay. Yeah, my walks were very healing. I had a dream there was a, when you'd first turn, go down Brindletown Road past the houses, past the farms, but right there was another road you could go straight, and there was houses back there, but they, I guess maybe they were condemned or something because the road was all overgrown. And I had a nightmare about that. My brain was very active. I had a very active imagination. And I dreamt that I was driving a Jeep, and instead of turning, I drove down that dark road or whatever it was, like sort of like a road that would say no entrance because it goes to somebody's private property. That's what it was like, but it was darkish. I don't know, nightmarish. And I'm driving the Jeep, and there's a bear, some kind of, in my dream, there's a bear, and my brothers are in the Jeep, and one at a time, the bear is picking them off. Like, and they're all trying to lean and hold on to me. And one at a time, the bear's getting them. And I always thought, when I woke up, the dream happened quite a few times. Oh, very similar. I was always driving a Jeep, speeding, trying to get away from the bear. And my brothers were always with me. And I was like, one at a time, all four of them got picked off. And I always thought that might have been my stepdad and my, that funny how you dream interpretation thing. But yeah, kind of icky. That summer was a hard summer. And right at the end of the summer, my friends came down. We figured out a way for me to be walking on Brindletown Road with my mom not knowing. And they met me at the blueberry pick your own fields. And we went and picked blueberries. But this is the last time I ever saw my friends. Really, we lost track, and they went back to school, and I went back downtown, but we had fun picking blueberries, throwing them at each other. And that was my last time with Deanie and brother and Eileen and all of them. They were my heart of gold. And they came once. They tried. And they would always, Deanie's brother would sing winter, spring, summer, fall. All you got to do is call. The James Taylor song, You've Got a Friend. I'm not going to sing it because I'll get all choked up. This one's hard enough. But yeah, all you got to do is call. And they were those friends. And that fantasy got me from point A to point B. Whether it was appropriated, like I just grabbed it and made it work in my mind. Sometimes you tell yourself stories, like I talked about Dr. Gabor Mate saying that compartmentalizing. So it helped me survive. It wasn't like going to last forever, but I held on tight. I held on tight to the little bits that I could milk from life. Anyway, this one's a little sad because that was a sad summer. And right at the end of the summer, I met a boy while I was walking down Brindletown Road. And the story goes on. And then there was this guy. But this was a really special one. This was way more special than any that had come before him. So that'll be the next one. That'll be about, and then there was this guy.